Simple, 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 easy, frugal, cheap, rock and roll, double shoulder harness, ready to rock and roll. Now, in my other video on the single shoulder mount that I had done with the monitors and the microphones and everything else on it, I used electrical conduit in the back. I used the 90-degree bell fitting turn downs. And I did this in 3/4. I just like the bulkiness of the 3/4. I don't know, some of you may want to go with a 1/2 inch or have an idea to go with a 1/2 inch to help you out. Now, one thing that I did do, and if you'll notice, there's no bell fittings, there's no couplings, there's no anything like this. I cut the bell fittings off of this and inserted a handmade insertion, a puck, if you will, or a connector inside this, glued this together and then slid those over it, just so I could have this smooth look, so I didn't have those big bells hanging out and being ununiformed across the back. Now, I did not do that in the front here. You can see the bell still on here because it needed to fit with this 3/4 inch pipe going up to my turn downs. Now, I went ahead and made my measurements, did my cutting, did out all my gluing and everything. Gluing took the longest, you know, to set up, one, because of the smell, and to make sure I had everything in place. Put my styrofoam on here. All it is the self-adhesive hose insulation or pipe insulation. And then, of course, I used a 4-inch electrical box plate, just like I did on my other mount. Leveled it out, and we're ready to run and gun on this thing. Now, just as the other mount that I made, or the other shoulder rig that I made, make sure you're on a flat surface, everything's in place, everything's locked down the way you want it, everything's measured up. And I'm going to show you, when you're gluing these things, once you get everything laid out and it's tight and it's good to go, take a pencil and mark where they fit. If you want to number them, where the top piece is 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to the back of your rig, you could do that and make sure you're gluing everything in place. But take and mark a pencil mark or a Sharpie mark on all your pieces, so when you go to glue them, you're like, oh, I wonder if that's straight or whatever, because that PVC pipe glue is only patient to a certain extent. Then you're going to be cutting and throwing pieces away and everything else. And we're trying to save money here by building our own rigs and everything else. So I'll zoom in on that and let you take a look at that a little bit later, and then we'll go from there. The only drilling that I had to do was to drill the center hole for the mount for the camera, and drill the 2 pieces for the pipes on the pipe there to mount the block itself, so you can put it into place. Now, you'll notice that this is turned up just a little bit. I was going for an all level, and to be able to do that, I had to add an extension in here to drop this piece down and everything else. But once I got it on my shoulder, I can control this. Of course, I'm going to put a level on this like I did on the other one, so give me an idea of doing it, but I didn't want to do it before I got it painted. So let's take a closer look on this. All right, here we go. Double shouldered, padded, counterbalanced, hands-free shoulder rig. Easy, simple, cheap, ready to rock and roll, run and gun, shoot. The pieces here, as I mentioned, gray electrical tubing, 90-degree turn downs, 75 cents a piece. Your fittings, you're looking at probably 48 cents or so a piece. And the metal plate, you're looking around 64 cents, I think, at Lowe's. Mount your camera, ready to rock and roll. You can put a monitor here, really cool to fit in here. I only had one monitor, so I didn't put a monitor mount on this. This is supposed to be simplified, ready to rock and roll, run and gun, double shoulder rig. Now, in the back, I modify the weight, of course. It's a brick back there. Reason I'd done that was that I was going to go with a leg weight that had the individual bags put in it. I got that at Walmart. I got the 5-pound. Didn't work. I didn't want to put both of them on there for the 10-pound, so I'm going to go back for the 10-pound. I just didn't do that to have the opportunity to do it for this demonstration. But I had a lot of people say, hey, listen, I just want a simplified, nothing modified, nothing super, double shoulder rig, and this is what I come up with. I got your mounting plate here, camera, your hands free, you can do your zoom, you can do your level checks, you can do anything. Now of course, as we all do, we like to modify these things. You can modify this thing, as I said earlier, with a microphone mount, lighting mount, monitor mount, handle grips to put on this. You can put some phone grips or some bicycle grips on this thing to modify it so you can bounce a little bit better and have a little bit more control when you're doing your shoots. But when you want to go hands-free, you can't beat this. Very simplified. You still have enough room. You're not tightened down. Now you can modify this depending on your size, but you got a lot of room in here to keep this thing moving around, and it's ready to go. As I've mentioned in my other videos, I don't do this to build equipment. I have fun building my own equipment, as we all do, and the fact that I don't have a budget to work with. But the reason I do this is for missing children. I do an online program to help find missing children. I gain exposure for their cases in hopes that we can find them and bring them home safely. So if you will, please check out my website at www.themissing.tv. You can also find us on YouTube at The Missing TV, and check out our site and see why I do this. I do it for the children and for their families, but I have fun building equipment as well. Thanks for all the comments. Thank you for all the questions. If you have any questions about this rig or my other rig, man, I just ask me. I'd be happy to answer any questions if I can. If I can't find it, if I don't have the answer, I'll find it for you. But this is a simple run and gun, less than 10 bucks, double shoulder, bounce. Now, if you go with the weights, you're looking at probably another $15 for the weights. But as far as the frame itself, very cheap, real easy, ready to rock and roll. Thanks again. Got any questions, let me know. Got any comments, please share them with me. And just visit our website at Please visit our website at www.themissing.tv and check us out on YouTube at The Missing TV. Thanks again, my name is Scott. Let me know what you think.